All right. I knew I was going to be pushing on this content for longer than average. So, I want to expand on the Warlock hunting a little bit because there was some stuff that I remembered later on after I shot the first one. Okay, so when you first come in, I want to just reiterate coming in as the child and also as the student. And you also want to come in as the whimsical witch. All three of those. But you're going to want to be like heavy on the whimsical and light on the magic. Don't eliminate the magic, but just be light on the magic, but thick on the whimsical. The next thing I wanted to say is, okay, so you're going to have to feed these narcissist egos, but you don't want to lie. Like, you can't step out of center. Do you know what I'm saying? So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to like hyper focus on their good assets. Like whatever you can find that they're doing on the right path, you're going to want to build their ego. Build it, build it, build it. Like as much as you possibly can, because that way when you make the cut, it'll be like worse because they'll be super ego inflated. And then another thing I use for a gauge is like this. So like when I'm gauging, like if I want to interact with one of these warlocks, or if it's worth my time to like go after them for their gifts, what I do is this. At the beginning, okay, when you first start the relationship, they're gonna have like these like things that they don't want to put up with in a girlfriend. Like they'll tell you right away, like, oh, I'm not going to deal with this, or I'm not going to deal with that. Like this is the type of girl. Like basically they're going to give you like rules basically. Now, these things that they tell you that they do not want in you are the things that they're gonna try to attack you with. So like whatever they tell you that don't want to put, that they're not going to put up with you, just know that that's what you're dealing with. That's what's going to be coming at you when you're in this interaction. Like, so if they say, oh, like they don't want to deal with a girl that's got a crazy baby daddy or whatever, they probably got a crazy baby mama. Or if they don't want to deal with a girl that's cheating, they're probably cheating. Like, just know that whatever they say is the thing they don't want you to do is the thing they're doing. So you can get a gauge whether it's worth your time or not to like deal with them or go after them. And then, okay, when you get into the alchemizing part, I wanted to really expand on this. When you get into your victim mentality and you're getting all those emotions and you're pulling all that stuff in to get angry and you turn it on yourself, during this process I said you do a ritual, and like I would take the entity that I'm doing this exchange with, and I would use my sword in the unseen on them and bleed out the information. And when I do that, I'm grieving for those parts of myself that I overextended or didn't extend enough or whatever. And then once you ground the gifts into your body, like you're grieving for yourself. You're not grieving for them. You're grieving for yourself. So don't put the focus on like them. Do you know what I'm saying? You got to put it on you. And then once you get in the gym, you get those gifts anchored into your physical form, you're going to want to go and create something immediately. Like create whatever is in your expertise or whatever you're offering to humanity. Start creating so you can get a hang of the gifts, see what, how they work for you, like what advantages they have, like how they're going to help you or whatever. And when I say you have to make the turn, when I talk about doing the turn, that means to repent. So whatever I was doing, I'm going to do the opposite. So if I'm talking to them, showing them attention, doing this, I'm now not talking to them, not showing them attention, not letting them in my energy. Whatever I'm doing, I do opposite. That's the turn. Now, I totally, this part is so important. Okay. One of their tricks is going to be this. When you're dealing with these containers, okay, you're feeding them your energy. So you're feeding energy to the archons, basically, is what's going on. Now, these archons will take your energy, depending on your rank. They're gonna try to, like, if you're high ranked, like, they will try to physically, like, hurt you. Like, you got to really be careful with your own energy coming back at you. That's why you don't want to give these warlocks a ton of energy. Like, you kind of got to, like, do it, like, don't do it in long periods of time where they can have enough energy built up to throw something at you. Because what happens is they'll call in, like, maybe a karmic or whoever they've got on their little team that they're all working for the archons, and they'll triangulate on you. So to prevent triangulation, this is what I do. Now, because most of us were on our own, right? We don't have anybody. It's just us. So what I'll do is this. I'll take, like, an item, any type of item you can use to triangulate with. If it's an item of yours and it has your energy on it, and you leave it in a space of theirs, you can use that item as a focus point to triangulate your own self, and that will keep them from, like, triangulating as much on you. Like, you have to really be aware of it, and you have to do it from the beginning, like how you're coming in with the naivety, like, oh, I forgot my toothbrush, whatever is an item of yours to use to keep them from triangulating on you, because they will try to attack you with your own energy. So it's like, you got to try to get in and get out. Like, you don't want to spend a lot of time with these warlocks and let them eat up your energy. So I want to say another thing is, when you steal someone's star or their seal, it's basically like when you take a mirror and you put it in front of a black hole. Okay, because they have their stars are inverted. Like, they're like, with us, our stars are shining out, and we're shining our energy all out like this, but their stars are inverted. They're shining in. That's why I'm saying, like, these people are people's kingdom spouses. Okay, these are counterparts, seal holders of divine feminines and divine masculines alike, that are missing their counterpart because they are not choosing to evolve. Or honestly, I feel like they're so inverted, they don't know the way. Like, I really feel like they just don't know, because they're so stuck in inversion. They've never seen the right way, and they just don't know how to get out. So it's like putting a shock paddle. It's like putting a shock paddle on their star, but you get authority over their gifts until they are ready to receive them back again. And what happens is they it's like it's like a shock paddle on your heart. It just stops it and gets it going right in this right back direction again. But it takes as if anybody's been destiny swapped, it takes a lot more to get out of that hole. But those ones are like super soldiers. So depending on, like, how deep you make the cut, like, I always I make the cut like it's myself. Like, that's the perspective you have to take when you're doing this stuff. You can't cut out of ego. You have to cut out of love. You have to cut as if it's your own self when you're making these cuts. And then I wanted to get in, I forgot to talk about the Death Angel, which is a more advanced archetype. So the Death Angel is sort of the same like a shadow hunter, but like, you're using your sexual energy at this point. But these are only contracts. Like, the only time I do stuff like in the Death Angel is if it's a contract, or if somebody like approaches me like on some like crazy stuff, or I see some like really really bad, like the Death Angel is getting used a lot in Christianity right now too, but not with the sexual. They're not using their sexual energy. It's the Death Angel has like lots of different jobs. So, but like in this genre, I'm gonna say, the Death Angels, when you're using your sexual energy, like you could tag an entire bloodline for destruction with your sexual energy, and that's like a contract. And some of these contracts get complex. They get complex and they get serious, and they are dangerous. You have to be so well balanced and so discerning to be able to execute some of these contracts. Also, you know, the Death Angel can bless. The Death Angel can also bless with the sexual energy. So just know, like, the girlies out there that are throwing your sexual energy away, like, this is what it's capable of. This is really what it's capable of. You can destroy an entire bloodline. It's a blood magic. It's a blood contract. You have sex with no condom, blood contract. You're done. It's it. These people are submitting to a contract unknowingly, but that's not our problem. This is spiritual warfare. We have to get tough right now. We have to stand up. We have to use our swords. It's our duty right now. And you know, I see these warlocks and I just think is like, there's a divine feminine busting her ass, trying to, you know, do her work for God, and her DM is over here being a warlock. Like, you can't step out of love when you're doing this work. Like, you're doing it in your kingdom spouse energy. And another thing I wanted to say too is, if you like the Myers-Briggs, this is going to be the Sigma INFJ archetype. If you want to like get a better idea of like the model, you can like study the Sigma INFJ and kind of like this stuff I'm trying to show you is like, I'm freestyling all this stuff, so you can create it whatever which way. Like, you can experiment with it and custom it to your own style or whatever. But when they're throwing your energy at you, you really got to be careful of it coming from any direction. Like, it could manifest through stepping on a rusty nail. Like, it could be like something falls off a shelf and knocks into you. Like, it's chaos magic. You'll start you will experience chaos magic too. I'm just going to let you know right now during this. You got to be really like diligent in your armor. Like, you have to make sure you have your armor on. Always have your armor on when you're doing work like this. If you're not an advanced practitioner and you don't know how to put on armor, you should not be even attempting to do any of this stuff. But you're definitely going to experience like chaos magic and different like forms of like magic that's going to come at you. But the main thing you got to worry about is the triangulation. Like, the chaos magic's like, oh, my earbuds don't work, I gotta mess with them and try to get a new pair or whatever. But when you're dealing with triangulation, now you got a whole nother person or entity that is, you know, they're trying to attack you as well. Listen, if they start triangulating on you, just cut and leave. Like, it's not worth like getting destiny swapped for, you know what I'm saying, something stupid. And so like, if they got to jump on you, just turn and walk away and don't go back that way again. And then just go on to the next. Another thing I wanted to say is, crap, I just lost it. Yeah, just play around with this stuff. Time does not exist. Time is a human construct. All of this stuff is taking place in different, like, realities almost. And in these realities, time does not exist. So if we can just get a domino effect going on, it will greatly affect the outcome of some of these timelines that are sort of stuck in stasis. Because what happens is, so like the seal holders of the light, all of those, the seal holders and their collectives are going to the light, but the seal holders of the dark that are holding, they're using their gifts for reverse, are holding their collectives back as well. They're holding their collectives back. So it's like, you could come across a warlock that doesn't have a seal, but yet he's tapped into the seal holder and is accessing his gifts through the seal holder, because they're all like connected in a collective. And so you can snatch from the seal holder without actually taking the seal, but you're taking pieces of their gift through one of their collectives, a lower ranking collective or whatever. So it's still having the same effect. It's just not as on a bigger scale. But when you're going to get these seals, it's sort of spiritual dangerous work. Like I said, you always have to have your armor on. Always have to have your armor on. It's like the most important thing that you can do. And just watch the dreamscape too. Like, you have to pay attention to what's going on the dreamscape, because that's going to tell you a lot of like what's happening in the situation. It will like explain to you like what they're trying to do. They'll tell you on the dreamscape first, and it'll give you like a heads up on how to like navigate the situation. So I think that's about the rest of it that I could come up with. If I come up with anything else, I'll spin it back. All right, thank you.